Hello, my name is Jeff. What's up, everybody? It's Coach Jeff with Strike One. We want to come to you today with 3 mental cues all around the game that'll help you guys become better ball players today. Ready? First one's going to be an offensive mental cue that I like to give to the kids. Sometimes we get into a lot of the kids rolling over quite a bit, just casting hands out or not being able to create space with their hips in order to pull their hands inside the baseball. That might look a little something like just rolling over, not using a lot of legs. Barrel comes around the ball. I like to tell them, we can sit here and we can drill and do all these different things, but I like to give them some mental cues right away that kind of gets their body to try and force that movement that you need. This one will be, since they're rolling over constantly, I just like to tell them to hit the ball almost down the right field line. You want to try and play with extremes when you're struggling with something. If it's one extreme, you need to try and play with that other extreme. And usually right away, within the first 2 swings, they'll start to pull their hands in tight and start trying to drive that ball the other way. You might have to get them to try and think about keeping their hands above the ball there as well. But that drill is pretty simple because it's not a drill, it's just a mental shift. And baseball's all about mental shifts. So with that mental cue, the swing should start to open up and they should sit here and drive that ball wherever they need to. The next one's going to be a mound drill, and we'll see you there. All right, guys, on the mound. And again, these are just mental adjustments, all right? So nothing crazy, nothing with drills. The most common thing that I see with a lot of the kids is we start to miss way up and to the right or way up and to the left. Their misses are pretty big, okay? So in order to try and shrink those and get them a little bit more confidence for throwing near the zone here, I like to tell them, if they are missing right, just try and miss as far left as you can. And where also is your starting point? Are you trying to pick as small of a target as you possibly can? Or are you just kind of aiming for the entire zone right there? Now, when we have a catcher, we can aim as small as we want. We can aim for one of the bars on his mask. We can aim for his glasses. We can aim for the logo on top of his helmet. We can aim for the logo on his chest protector. The smaller the target, the smaller the miss. So again, I don't know, I'm not going to try and demonstrate how to miss the strike zone, but pretty easy adjustment. There's also some physical cues that go along with this. If they start falling over, if they start opening their front side up, that miss is probably going to go pretty far right. If they are landing with their body closed or their foot closed and not able to turn their hips through, they'll pull the ball left. So you can try and address those things as well. But I find that the mental shift actually helps them out way more. All right, next one's going to be fielding. Let's go. As far as the fielding goes, I can't really demonstrate this stuff, but I was a middle infielder my entire life. Shortstop was the main spot. And when you're in the middle of the field, it becomes pretty easy to read pitches. You should also know what the catcher is putting down. You're close enough to be able to see the sign here as far as what he's putting down, so you can anticipate the ball coming your way or the swing type that hitter might be taking, depending on the count. So as far as the mental shift goes, I would try to lock in as much as you can on where the catcher is setting up so you can anticipate where the ball is going to be going. That way you can get an extra 2 steps, which in baseball, it's all you need. And if you can't do that, if you're on a spot in the field where it's hard to see where the catcher's setting up, on the corners maybe, out and right and left, you guys can try and read swings and see if the hitter's trying to get that ball more out front. If it is, you're in left field, you can definitely anticipate the ball. And right, you can see if he's late, anticipate the ball there, or if he's swinging a little bit more tight and trying to force that ball your way. Guys, just try and read swings, don't take a pitch off, and get that extra 2 steps. I know all this mental stuff seems really easy and might be elementary, but I don't think that it's talked about enough. And I think that skills and drills and all this stuff is getting a little bit too oversaturated, and you guys can, take 1,000 drills a day, but if you don't have the mental stuff, then, that's a whole part of the game that is tangible and definitely able to get better at. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If any of this stuff helped you out, don't forget to click that subscribe button. See you guys later.